Hello viewers, friends, subscribers, it's AG. And man, have I not said that in a long time. I miss you guys. I miss you guys. I really do. I'm so sorry. It's been a while. But the real world's been, keeping me pretty busy, and haven't had the time to make the videos. In all honesty though, I'm actually reworking Movie Messenger, and I'm also working on some new things like a new video game review show, and working on a web series that, it's going to take some time because it's going to actually involve puppets, and then money needs to be involved in that one because puppets cost some money. But scripts don't. I'm working on the scripts. A whole bunch of new things. But here's my YouTube story. Since everyone's talking about their YouTube story, here's mine, if any of you are interested. Okay? So back in 2006, I wrote this blog on my MySpace, when MySpace was actually popular. And I was talking about the future of television and how YouTube is probably going to be the future of television. And this is around 2 weeks after Google purchased YouTube. All right. And I was saying, yeah, YouTube is going to be combined with TV, and you can watch, stuff on your computer, like movies and television shows, and that's already happened. I predicted it would happen like 15 years in the blog or something, but actually it's already happening right now. And I said, I need to jump on this bandwagon of YouTube, and get just swept up in this whole new thing of entertainment, And it's like I waited a year to do it. And that was the one little regret, is I wish I started a little earlier on YouTube. I was using YouTube on another account, just watching videos, and I was watching Angry Video Game Nerd. I was watching, I don't know if his name was Play It Again Bogart or Play It Bogart. I was watching Darkness the Curse. I was watching Big Al. I was watching these guys, these nerdy guys talk about video games and this video game community. Now, because I'm pretty nerdy myself. That's why I'm watching these guys. They were funny, they were interesting, they had some, cool videos talking about games that I grew up with, especially Angry Video Game Nerd. So that's how I got involved with YouTube, was watching the video game community on YouTube back in 06 and 07. So, of course today, Machinima has taken over the video game community, and that little community that we had is pretty much gone. I don't know, those guys are scattered about, some of them quit. There's accounts are getting suspended like crazy, that kind of thing. So, I graduated college in summer of 07, and I was making my transition from theater arts to starting making movies and stuff. So, I bought my MacBook here, and I used my iSight camera for my first videos on YouTube. And, I bought my screenwriting software and that kind of thing, because I just want to just jump right in. And then I got involved with the 48-hour film project in San Diego, and I made this short video. I'm not going to call it a movie. A short video called Spy County. So, if you guys haven't seen Spy County, it's on my channel. Yeah, it's not that great. But, it was a learning experience for me. And that thing was shown in a movie theater in front of people. And I heard them laughing. Not just at the jokes I wrote, and not just at the actors' performances and that kind of thing, but they were laughing at my technical mistakes. They're laughing at the editing. They're laughing at there was no sound. They're laughing at, it was mostly the editing. But I made some really bad editing choices and that, and cause it was all rushed. I didn't know what I was doing at the time, and I was still learning using iMovie and that kind of thing. So back then I was clueless, and I was just doing it to teach myself how to do it right away. And it was a great learning experience. And they had a Q&A, and I answered some questions, and it was like, this is what I really want to do with my life. So posted Spy County on YouTube under AGentertainment, which was going to be my new account. And I wanted to, start making videos on YouTube. So I just started making some random videos. I don't even remember what they are because I've taken them down since I started. And I was going to say Mr. Safety of SMP Films, he made this video saying, so, why do you make videos? Post a video response below, blah, 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 So I just wanted to say, hey, this is why I make videos on YouTube, because, I didn't get to go to film school, and I want this to be my way to learn, video production and that kind of thing. And I was like a runner-up in that contest that he had. And seriously, the next day, because he posted my link in his video, I had like 400, 500 subscribers right away. Boom. It's like, oh my, wow. That was so overwhelming. I was so excited. And I remember I called some friends, hey, I just did this YouTube thing. I already got like 500 subscribers, and they didn't really get it. I was all excited about it. They didn't really get it. So I just continued making videos. I was writing movie reviews for Latin Heat Entertainment, and I was posting trailers on YouTube saying, hey guys, go read my reviews at Latin Heat. And I don't think you guys liked that much. So I started doing the reviews on YouTube, just reading my reviews I wrote over a video or over like pictures from the movie, and you guys, someone enjoyed it. You liked it, and you liked what I had to say, and I just continued doing that since what was it, 2008, and since then I was making other videos. I was trying, working with the vlogs or the vlogs, whatever you want to call them, and trying to figure out my style, doing the jump cuts where I would say something like, "Hey guys, it's me, AG," and then like cut it, and I'll be like over here, and cut it, and I'll be over here. I tried that style out. I tried the style where I don't have anything scripted, where that was like the South Park video. I was like, "Hello, viewers, friends, subscribers. It's AG, and today we're talking about South Park." And I was so boring in that video, but it's like so many people watched it, so I kind of like, man, I should have made that more like interesting, And then I tried to go over the top in like this Starbucks video I made, and then of course everyone's like writing "gay, gay, 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 you're so gay" in this, because I was like, "Hey guys, it's me, AG, and we're talking about Starbucks. Oh yeah, Starbucks. And I'm gonna tell you this and that," and then I was just being over the top and stuff. So we got like a hit and miss. I was just trying. I tried to figure out my style, and then I was doing vlogs in like sepia tone, because I was like, well, maybe through sepia tone that could set me apart from other people. And I was just trying to figure out, my place in the YouTube community, mostly in 2008. And in 2009, I worked on this idea called the Movie Messenger with Latin Heat Entertainment, because we were planning to have me interview celebrities on camera, and this was the big idea. It's like, okay, give yourself a brand, and we can use this, and your logo can be in the background. You could be talking to like the George Lopez or whoever. I was like, oh yeah, that's great. So I worked on Movie Messenger, and my sister, is Ventane here. She made the logo for me and that kind of thing. And then the idea was pretty much dropped, and it was never really mentioned again. And I was kind of stuck with the idea of the Movie Messenger, so I just ran with it on YouTube. And it was featured still on Latin Heat, but I was focused more on making the reviews for YouTube and doing Movie Messenger, delivering reviews and some Hollywood news. But the Hollywood news part didn't really come about because I didn't really like the whole thing of updating Hollywood stuff for you guys. It's like kind of like a Variety magazine or the Hollywood Reporter, where they would mention like every second like new news going on in Hollywood, and not everyone's interested in that stuff. So I kind of pushed the Hollywood news thing away and focused on the movie reviews and delivering DVDs for prizes. And then the delivering DVDs thing didn't really work out because people stopped entering my contests and that kind of thing. And this is kind of like, it was a weird time for me because I was so used to getting like all this feedback, and then I don't think people really welcomed the Movie Messenger as much because I was talking about video games mostly in 2007 and doing some movie reviews, and now in 08 I was doing more movie reviews. So it was kind of a weird transition, and I was trying to get used to like, people not really watching them as much. But Movie Messenger grew over the year, and now I'm reworking it, so it's going to be a much better, hopefully, and I won't have any problems with using trailers and stuff. Like I had some people, doing these false DMCA claims against me, and instead of just bothering with that, I might as well just do the reviews on camera and that kind of thing. So we're gonna just work this new format out. So pretty much, other than all that, I did some other like sketches. Like my car was broken into, so I made a video about it, and then I made a sequel with Kiki Vince, who I met at the As One Gathering, and then I have footage from the As One Gathering. And my channel, as it says on the main page, is a variety channel because I like to do a whole bunch of stuff. I got video game walkthroughs, I got sketches, I got the movie reviews. I'm gonna have video game reviews soon. I want everything, and if I have to be one of those guys that have to have multiple channels in the future, well, we'll see if that has to happen. Because sometimes when I put videos from my Mega Man walkthroughs up, because I'll upload like 10 videos at once, then I'll have like 10 people unsubscribe because they don't get that this is just part of the whole thing on my channel. So I might have to separate them some way, or I'll figure all that out. But that's my YouTube story. I don't know if that was interesting or not, but now you guys know somewhat of my thinking process. And the whole thing about angry video game nerd versus irate gamer, that was a big thing because everyone was talking about that back in 07, early 08, and I felt if I made that trilogy, that should be the end all of this whole, the whole thing back then. And people ate it up just as I expected, and it it really worked out for me because then people started knowing who I was and stuff. But again, the video game community has been lost somewhat on YouTube, so in the long run, it didn't really matter. But the episode 3 of AVGN and Irate Gamer are still getting a lot of views today, and people are still leaving me bad feedback for like, oh, you don't know what you're talking about, and cursing me out, because they're still somewhat being compared today. When I think Irate Gamer's somewhat swaying away from AVGN, but he's still it's still the same thing. I mean, we're not gonna get into it, but that's pretty much how I got started on YouTube. But right now I'm a different guy than I was 2 or 3 years ago, and I'm really focusing on my movie stuff outside of YouTube and trying to get that stuff done. But I really want to focus on my movie reviews on YouTube and video game reviews on YouTube and all my other videos on YouTube. So, alright, I think I've talked enough. Thanks for watching, guys. Thank you for watching me from the beginning, if you have. Thank you, new subscribers. I hope you check out all my old videos and see where I came from. And everyone else, I just really appreciate, everything. Because this is why I make the videos on YouTube, is for you guys. If I felt no one really watched my videos, I wouldn't do it. Because I like the instant feedback on YouTube, and it's not like if you make a movie and you're not really sure if someone's going to watch it or not, or if you write a book and you're not really sure if someone's going to read it or not. If you make a YouTube video, eventually someone's going to watch it. Thanks, guys. See you next time.